Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here. Welcome back to those who also watched the Star Fox Direct reaction, quote unquote. And yeah, today, apart from that, in the first part, we'll continue to learn Japanese with Pokémon FireRed. Last time, we checked out the rest of Route 22, what we had access to. Then checked out the Pokemart, the friendly shop in Japanese, since I wanted to make some purchases, and so we actually got to see how that looks like. Checked out Route 2, the part we can access so far. We didn't enter the building there. So yeah, today we'll start with that. Well, most likely I'll actually first check out the grass in Route 2 to see if we could catch a Rattata this time before proceeding into the building and see what's there and beyond. But yeah, that's our plan today, and without further ado, let's start. Oh yeah. By the way, there it mentioned that we have 4 Pokemon on the file select screen. Yon, the number 4 in numerals, Hiki. Yeah. Here we have we got the TCTV Osheterebi from the old man after he taught us how to catch Pokemon. How to actually not catch Pokemon, I should say. Yeah, we defeated the rival. We left, we checked out the league gate there and left it. And yeah, then we went here. Yeah, it mentions also that we what we bought, some Pokeballs for 2,000 yen. And yeah, last but not least, we saved at the Pokemon Center. And yeah, because of course we also healed our Pokemon. We're in Viridian City, but yeah, as mentioned, we'll go first and foremost here in Route 2 to catch Rattata. And then enter that building. We can in part see here. Let me quickly check our Pokemon. I could have mentioned that, but honestly, since we also have less time, let's focus on actually tackling stuff. If we have some writings, the ones that we straight up need, not extra ones. Yeah, I switched already PG last time in front to hopefully increase its level here. Could and most likely should have caught a level 3-1. Okay, yeah. This last time I think we had a level 2 Rattata. Yeah, that's way too low. Yeah, this time we have a level 5-1. Luckily it missed there. And yeah, we can't do anything. Oh, that. I actually saved also the other one, even though we have already seen it. Yeah, this one. I wanted to show this especially. This one. We've actually seen a Rattata, wild Rattata already used this, but I couldn't get it in time. And also mistakenly mentioned that it was called Shippo Attaku. No, it's called Shippo or Furu, and then simply Kokeki, the usual term for attack in Japanese. But yeah, the name of the attack is Shippo or Furu. So yeah, actually even it's Shippo. This one we had already mentioned means tail in Japanese. It's actually a strictly Japanese compound. Yeah, from behind, as in the buttocks, and because that shiri on its own, accent on the last syllable, then o accented on the accented, it's a single mora on its own tail. Then there's this weird contraction. My guess is that the O of was actually originally po, then changed into although it's weird because should have become ho. If that's the case, maybe an alternative form. I don't know. But yeah, either way, shiri o becomes shippo. And yeah, literally behind the buttocks tail. And yeah, so simply then the term for tail, of course, to avoid also simply keeping o to avoid ambiguity. By the way, luckily, accent on the last syllable like o itself. But yeah, what we hadn't seen last time was that then we have the object particle o written as wo, and pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing, and then the verb furu. Furu means to not just move, wave. There's another furu, but not clearly our one. The other one is actually pretty useful, so I'll mention it, and incidentally we'll see it eventually in a game. Furu with another kanji means to fall, to come down, well, to come down technically, to fall of rain, snow, and so on. So yeah, it's quite important because of that. This one, on the other hand, furu, unaccented, so yeah, there's also that distinction, luckily enough. So yeah, furu, accented, to fall of rain, and so on. Furu, unaccented, means to wave, to shake, swing, several extended meanings, but yeah, the fundamental one is wave. So yeah, I think in English it's called a tail whip, which, if that's the case, and I think it is, then that's weird because, yeah, as we have seen, it's actually not an attack that hits the opponent's Pokemon. It's one that lowers their status, as we'll see in a second. Yeah, so literally the name of the attack in Japanese is to wave, implied one's tail. It's pretty easy actually. Yeah, it reduces simply the opponent's defense strength, defense value, we could also say, by adapting it. Yeah, so simply that. I wanted to mention it since we actually have seen it, but only incidentally, and yeah, I couldn't straight up show it and fully explain it last time. Well, when we found it, actually quite a while ago at this time, at this point. But yeah, I want to attack once more. We need to heal technically after. We'll see though. Yeah. actually take that. If we want to consider it for the future, I'll save it as a picture, the video in itself. Then good luck finding it along the other ones. Yeah, there's this screen of the help. Honestly, yeah, again, let's not tackle it now. We might also straight up ignore it. As honestly, it's a feature we don't particularly need, but yeah, there was a screen introducing it, and then you could use the help function. But yeah, we want a Pokeball, so yeah, go to the right. Let's try it. It's at least in the yellow, so yeah, not like what the old man did with and yeah. Okay, this one, on the other hand, we want to check. And so by doing it now, we won't have to deal with it anymore. And it's a fundamental part of the game. Yeah, here it says Zannen. And yeah, first and foremost that. And yeah, as you can see, immediately after an exclamation mark, yeah, it's an exclamation technically. Well, used as an exclamation. It's technically an adjective. Zannen, Chinese compound. This one actually accented on the ne, so be careful. We've seen it at least once before, I think in this very series. It means regrettable, unfortunate, disappointing, vexing. But yeah, can also be used with Nagara, technically while, so it would be while being regrettable, unfortunate, then simply in translation, unfortunately, regrettably, even though strictly speaking, it would be adjective plus Nagara in Japanese. But yeah, can also be used as an exclamation, as we can see here. How unfortunate. And yeah, then it says, mo skoshi de tsukamerareta no ni. And yeah, this, we have first, mo, technically actually, mo skoshi is an expression technically considered. It comes from mo, which we have seen on its own. In this case, more, as in further, other meanings, which are more common, let's say, in general, on its own, already, yet. But yeah, another of the meanings is soon, shortly. You can see why. But yeah, with certain words, usually, especially, it can also mean furthermore, and yeah, in our case, more, further. Skoshi, yeah, this one on its own we have seen a little, a bit. So yeah, this mo skoshi. Luckily, we keep the accent of skoshi simply. So of the second word, technical part, we could consider it as a compound, or at least as an expression with these two words. So yeah, the second one keeps its accent. A bit more, a bit longer than by adapting it, by more strictly speaking, a bit more. Then we have the particle de with, or actually could be the de I'd say in this case most likely that the form of the copula being mo skoshi, so being a bit more. So actually this expression mo skoshi de means almost, nearly, close to. That makes sense from mo skoshi on its own. And then we have Tsukamai Raretà Noni. First we have Tsukamai Raretà from Tsukamairu. We have already seen it before in this very game. Yeah, fundamental term for Pokemon to catch. Unaccented. Reverb. Incident verb. Yeah, unaccented. We can change the U into A and then add re-ru. We can see the ru because of further conjugation. To make the passive form or also the potential form. Yeah, the potential and the passive forms are identical for root verbs, incident verbs, and yeah, then it depends only, you can guess it only based on the context. It's worth mentioning that in more casual speech, I think usually for the potential, I've definitely seen it with that. Not sure with the passive, I'd say no also to distinguish the two. But yeah, definitely with the potential, there's the phenomenon of so-called ra drop. So you simply drop the ra, get rid of it, and so yeah, only remains re, ru, so shortened, more convenient because to pronounce, to say. Potentially, this I don't remember. I know for sure I've seen it for the potential. I don't. Not sure for the passive. Maybe also distinguish between the two. But yeah, here we have the extended form. Anyway, passive. In this case, also potential forms of the verb are root verbs, incident verbs as well. So we can drop the root to make the continuative form. In this case, to then attach ta and make that a form of the verb. Ta form, so past form of the verb in plain speech technically, yeah, also for further conjugation. In this case, after it, we have noni. Noni technically is used as a conjunction with the meaning a particle, we could say, by conjunction, with the meaning although, despite, even though. But yeah, like in this case, as we see, usually found when at the end of a sentence with a past verb before it, it actually means if only, I wish, more specifically, if only. And so, yeah, if only, in this case, it could, well, actually, in this case, maybe better the passive than if only it got caught. If only I were was for those who now use that simply caught, or if only I could technically catch it. Maybe the latter works better. Here in this case, because there's a lack of information, is kind of ambiguous, but yeah, maybe better the potential simply, considering the context, that we tried to catch it, but yeah, it failed. So yeah, this usage of noni, quite important, as actually is quite used. But yeah, so we got to see this. Let's continue. Then it also missed the attack. I actually tried to use another tackle then. Ooh. And that wasn't even A critical hit there, as you might have noticed. Let's use another Pokeball. This time I hope we'll be able to catch it. Okay, yeah. I get the usual part here. I did it literally. The usual yatta used when being happy about an outcome when celebrating something. Caught Rattata, Koratta. We've already mentioned the name of Rattata in Japanese. It's pretty simple. Ratta, which is the name of, as we see, of Raticate, clearly from rat. Ko, the prefix small. In this case, could straight up be child, technically, like in Koinu. But yeah. And yeah, of course, we get the data. Yeah, now this will actually check Korat, the name. Above, first and foremost, on the top, we have the category of the Pokédex. It's in the Sogen no Pokémon. Sogen. You might actually remember again. I think it was actually present. We should have seen the term Kogen. Actually, check. In Super Mario World for Tableland Plateau, literally high field, plain. So yeah, the Gen is the same. An accented Kogen. I think also Sogen should be an accent. Yes, it is. And yeah, unsurprising, it's a Chinese compound, and this is the most common accent for those. Yeah, this one is literally grass. That So is actually the one, the same kanji as Kusa. Kusa is the strictly Japanese reading, So is the Chinese one. And yeah, we get Gen again. That is the Chinese reading of that kanji, of course. Yeah, literally grass field. So yeah, grassy field. Grassland, we could also say. Possessive particle, no. Pokémon. So yeah, simply Pokémon. Actually more than one, because it's the category of the grasslands, grassy fields, meadow. Yeah, its name Koratta. Its species, as in its kind, it's a Nezumi Pokémon. Yeah, Nezumi, as you might have guessed in this case, in this is simply mouse, rat. There's no distinction. At least with this term, this is the fundamental one. The accent is unaccented, okay. I wonder actually, it's a strictly Japanese term. Technically there would be a kanji, but yeah, nowadays, well, it depends technically on the context, but yeah, usually using kana alone. I want to look up in Wiktionary if we can find it. Oh, yeah, I'm getting for sure some issues there. Okay, yeah, I suspected it could be a compound, and apparently it is. It comes from ne, which means root. Accented is a strictly Japanese word for root. In this case, apparently, in the sense simply of somewhere hidden away, yeah, like of course in the sense that roots go under the ground. And then we have Zumi, So actually, sumi, we get the voicing of the su because it's the second word part of a compound, even more so is of strictly Japanese origin, and we have seen that happen again and again. Straight up, we have seen it also in the name of Fushigi Dane, Bobo's Japanese name, and also the wordplay because of that. But yeah, sumi, actually from sumu, the verb which means to live, as in to reside, to inhabit, and so on. We change the u verb colon verb, we change the u into i to make the continuative form, so the corresponding noun, technically, here also straight up simply used to make, to be part of this compound noun. So yeah, sumi, technically living. So yeah, living in ne, again, technically root, but according to this, and it will make more sense technically, somewhere hidden away. So yeah, that's why it's actually like this. So yeah, actually it makes it way more easy to remember. Yeah, that's why etymology is quite important. Yeah, I wish I had known this when I learned the word for the first time. Yeah, better late than never in my case. And better actually for... way better as soon as possible for those learning Japanese now. But yeah, so simply that, the meaning, nice. The usual height, weight, and then we have the description, that interests us. Kiba wa nagakute surudoi. Pretty easy. First we have kiba, fang, as we see. We check its accent. Term of strictly Japanese origin. This one could also be technically a compound, but I'm not sure if the dictionary will mention it. Let's check it quickly. Because yeah, funny, actually I also thought so, and also got confirmation before going technically in the on Wiktionary, because technically there's an older reading of the kanji, which is simply ki. So yeah, most likely that's the case then. Yeah, okay. Literally is simply ki, which is the original term for fang, specifically tusk, technically also. Tooth, but yeah, particularly of the canines. And then ha, accented, yes, accented, means tooth. Yeah, this actually tooth or teeth. We don't have to strictly specify the... we can use suffixes and so on to specify the plural, but yeah, the word on its own can be singular or plural, even as is in Japanese. So yeah, tooth or teeth. And yeah, these are usually the human teeth. Ha. So yeah, funny enough, yeah, we have that ki, which is the original word for fang, and then ba, again, ha, becomes voiced because of the usual rule in compounds. We have already mentioned in Zumi. This one, by the way, kiba, is accented on the first mora. So yeah, would also be a typical spot technically for the accent of such compounds on the last and only mora of the first word part of the compound. Yeah, so kiba is the word nowadays actually used for tusk, fang. We have the topic particle wa, it has a ha. As for implied its fangs, nagakute, from nagai, long, any adjective. So we can change the... we can drop the i add ku to make the adverbial form, or we could say also continuity form, and better in the, considering that the letter in this case, because we use it for further conjugation. In this case, simply to add the te form and make the te form of the adjective. Nagakte. So the u of ku is also barely heard if at all, because it's between our voice consonants. So the meaning, usual meaning of the te form, be in this case because we have an adjective like that, and the rest of the sentence, usually like in this case to combine more than one adjective. And yeah, in our case we have long and surudoi, which I also have suspicions about its with that do about it potentially being a compound. We'll check it. Better if I search for the kanji on its own here in Wiktionary. No, we can't find it in this case. I could technically check out the dictionary, but honestly, for now, let's keep it simple. Surudoi means sharp, knife, close, and so on, pointed, accented. Yeah, nagai, if I haven't mentioned it, also accented. Sharp, by the way, then by extension also figuratively. Sharp pain, for example, and so on. Yeah, here literally. So yeah, as for its fangs, they are long and sharp. And then it continues by saying Issho no bitsuzukeru no de katai mono o kajitte kezuru. And yeah, first we have this Issho, which I suspect is simply, in this case, a Chinese compound, of course. This one, the easiest one, technically there are more than one with this pronunciation, but yeah, the most common one, and would make sense in this case as well, would be life, or better, more specifically, whole life, a lifetime. Literally, it uses ichi, the number one, in Chinese pronunciation. Sho is one of the pronunciations we have seen, because we have already studied it actually, that one, of the kanji for to live, ikiru, and several other meanings, but yeah, the fundamental one is to live. And yeah, this is one usually. Hello, Ken, nice to see you here. But yeah, as I was saying, usually you see more often the reading se, i. So yeah, most nowadays pronounce it long e, especially in standard Japanese. Some still pronounce it sei. And yeah, that's the most common pronunciation for that kanji. Sho is still used in some compounds, and this is one of the examples. So literally one life. So yeah, in the sense, usually whole life, a lifetime, all through life, or something of one's life. In that case, with the possessive particle, of course. But yeah, here it's simply used technically as a noun, but yeah, then in an adverbial usage, and yeah, can be used as an adverb. Yeah, by the way, being a Chinese compound, unaccented. After it, we have the verb nobitsuzukeru. a compound verb, which means, well, let's go step by step. First and foremost, we have nobiru, to extend, to stretch. Other similar meanings, but yeah, the fundamental one is to stretch, to extend. Accented on its own, nobiru. Other extended meanings, but yeah, they don't interest us. Ru verb is some verb, so we can drop the ru to make the continuative form required here to then attach the second verb part of the compound, which is suzukeru, which means to continue. I think we've actually seen it straight up. Last time we played in the other Let's Learn Japanese with series Super Mario Advance, because it had the options Seibu shite suzukeru, I think. Or at most suzuku, which is the intransitive form of the verb. Suzukeru is the transitive one. Notice the transitive in eru, the intransitive in u. Cioè, another... because yeah, there are several ways, several combinations of these intransitive and transitive forms. This is the one in u intransitive, eru transitive, regardless unaccented. And yeah, so simply to continue. So yeah, nobi suzukeru means continue to extend, to stretch. In our case, technically, one of the extended meanings, to grow of not a hair in this case, but actually of the fang, as we have seen. Unfortunately, you can check the accent of this compound because I can find it in the online dictionary. But yeah, so by the way, simply to make one of the ways to continue doing the action of a verb is simply to combine that verb in its continuative form with suzukeru. After it, we have node. Node is a conjunction. Technically, you could say again a particle. If you consider it a particle, clearly would be no, as in the nominalizer for verbs, thing as in fact, plus the with, or better, again more simply, the form of the copula. So yeah, being that the case, and that could work also, by the way, with the meaning, because yeah, being that the case, in a causative sense. And yeah, so the meaning of node as a particle, or better a conjunction, is because, as, since, and so on. And yeah, so because it continues to grow throughout its life, for its lifetime. And then we have katai. I think this one might be unaccented, I seem to recall that, but we'll check it. Means hard. In this case, as in solid, tough. It can use different kanji depending on the material, but yeah, doesn't matter for us here. As for its accent, yeah, I remembered actually unaccented, katai. Then we have mono, things, clearly in general, in this case. Mono, accent on the last syllable. This one we have straight up studied its kanji. I suspect actually it's in katakana here, mono, actually to put technically more accent on it, more focus on it, katakana can be used in this also kind of like bold or italics in English. But yeah, in this case, suspect potentially because, not just things, but also technically people or Pokemon, more in general, but yeah. Or simply again, things, and then we simply put the accent, the focus on it. But yeah. Then we have the object particle, and then we have the verb kajite. I feel like we have actually not seen it before. It makes sense as the verb here because kajiru means to know, to nibble, to bite, to munch, to crunch, all kinds of biting technique. Well, I'd say better, technically bite would be would work, but I'd say better maybe other, because to bite there's another word, also verb for it, and that one I'd say more in general, a more generic bite. And no, this one is more like to nibble, to munch. Regardless. Accented, kajiru. By the way, there's I think at the very least pretty famous. I ended up encountering it myself. I think in Taiko no Tatsujin first. Oshiri Kajiri Mushi. So yeah, funny enough, Oshiri comes out again, as in but we have seen before for that attack with the honorific prefix, so yeah, technically polite language despite the term unaccented still. Well, actually becomes an accent. Shiri, we mentioned the accent on the last Mora, so yeah, with the honorific prefix it becomes unaccented. So yeah, be careful, the honorific prefix can change the accent like that. And yeah, then we have kajiri, so yeah, we change the u into i, because yeah, actually, despite being in iru, and so looking like it is a ru verb, it's a verb, no. It's one of those in verbs in iru and eru, which are actually u verbs, quote verbs, instead of being the usual ru verbs, it's and verbs. And so yeah, to make the conjugative form, we change the u into i, there to make technically a compound in that what I mentioned. Mushi, we have seen in this very series, unaccented should be bug. So yeah, literally butt biting bug, and yeah, there's that song about this butt biting bug. If you want to look it up, and yeah, it's one of those weird Japanese things, but also funny. But yeah. And yeah, it's worth mentioning as, again, important to keep in mind that it's a u verb, golden verb, and yeah, because in this case its te form becomes double consonant te. Again, we would change the u into i to make the conjugative form kajiri, to then add the te, but then the i most likely failed, kajir te, difficult to pronounce, so became simply the doubling of the following consonant, kajite, yeah, more easy to pronounce. Yeah, the verb in its usual usage, in this case, do the action of the verb and the rest of the sentence, or by doing the action of the verb. Let's say better that in this case. Last but not least, we have kezuru. Kezuru. Let me check its accent. Means to shave, wood and so on to sharpen a pencil, but yeah, in our case the fang. Other similar meanings, unaccented kezuru. I wonder if there's an etymology on Wiktionary. We'll quickly check. Okay. Let me see. Nope, not here at the very least. No, not present. I suspect still kind of related to kesu, at least on the surface. Kesu, as we have seen, means to delete, to erase. So yeah, you can see why I think apart from its pronunciation, also why it could be related. Funny enough, they use different kanji, but with one of the components being the same. But yeah, kezuru, as we have mentioned, to sharpen. So yeah, the translation here is because it's worth mentioning, by the way, incidentally, we have seen for because kara also. There are different usages between kara and node. Kara usually for more subjective reasons, node more objective ones. But there are also some other usages. But yeah, the rule in general would be that one. In our case here, technically, a more objective one, which would make sense because yeah, it says because implied the fangs, its fangs continue to extend, to stretch, to grow throughout its life. For its lifetime, it sharpens the fang by, and yeah, you can see why I think this is the best translation in this case for that form, by biting, by even better, by munching, as we said, by knowing hard things. Oh yeah, got to see that. We won't give it a nickname as usual. We'll quickly go to heal. To heal also our Ratata here. And then we'll finally enter the building. So at the very least we should be able to check that out in this episode, despite yeah, shorter, and yeah, we also used some time for that. But yeah, I wanted to get a Ratata there. Okay, perfect. We've healed our Pokemon. We have these. We'll check it out later. It doesn't disappear until I actually do that. We'll check it out another time, but yeah, that's the thing we want to check out. Okay. Let's enter the building. I would like to train our Mankey also. Maybe even more so than Pidgey, but it's not the best spot to do so, the one we're entering. Well, for now I think it simply has tackle anyway, so no. Well, not tackle, but a scratch actually. So yeah, we should be fine. Yeah, I want to train Mankey for now, technically. But yeah, here in this building we have two characters, so let's talk to them. And funny enough, this one says Koratta wa chitsai kedo maebe no ichigeki wa Anadorenai. So yeah, funny enough, this character starts with Koratta, topic particle 1, so yeah, as for Koratta, so yeah, Rattata. So yeah, perfect that we started by catching a Rattata. Then it says Chitsai. And yeah, it's a cute way to say, well, a more colloquial, I should say, but yeah, also kind of cute. To say small, clearly, usually not written with kanji, I'd say. But if you used kanji, it would be the one for chisai. Chisai is the usual adjective, which means small. So yeah, should be accented. We check quickly. Small, tiny, little. And it's accented, yes, perfect. So you can see from chisai how it can become with some contraction. Chichai. Yeah, same meaning, just yeah, technically we I can find the accent of Chitsai. Let me take the physical dictionary. Got the physical dictionary. Let's see if it's present here, even though I have doubts. My guess, being from Chisai, would be still accented, but it would be nice to verify it. Chisai. Okay, I actually found it. Nice. I have, by the way, in the physical dictionary, it says next to Chitsai, but also written then in with the kanji, and then between brackets, technically, Zoku, the kanji for Zoku. Zoku, this one means technically originally layman, as opposed to a Buddhist monk, deity, man of the world. Can also be used for local manners, modern customs, but yeah, in our case would be common, popular, or straight up also vulgar, low, cioè at the very least again colloquial, if not straight. Yeah, in this case I'd say simply colloquial, honestly. Zoku, by the way, unaccented. But yeah. After that, she says kedo. But, however, yeah, that conjunction, accent on the first more. Then we have maeba, a compound noun, and yeah, mae, front. We have seen it before. We've also mentioned it because of omae, the pronoun for one of the pronouns for you, first person. Sorry, second person singular. Sorry, you singular. But yeah, here simply front. And then that ba again is actually ha. So yeah, front, tooth. The accent is maeba on the first more, so yeah, actually it keeps simply the accent of mae. Weird for a compound, but yeah, honestly, more convenient actually, in a way. So front tooth. Incisor. Then we have the possessive particle no. should be a Chinese compound, and I think straight up simply, yeah, literally would be Ichi plus Geki. Geki, I think we've actually studied its kanji in Kirby's Adventure, a pretty complex kanji. And by the way, for those who want to check the explanations of those kanji or want to rewatch them, of course you could check them out also simply on the internet, elsewhere, and so on. But yeah, if you want to check them out, the explanations in this series, you can find the specific parts in which we studied them in the different series. I put them also in the description of the playlists. So yeah, you can check a playlist and then see if it has a description, and then you can see the kanji for each series. And I think I'm looking up, in this case, simply my list here that I have. Yep, there it is. I thought so that we had checked it out, because we found it straight up in game. In that case, I didn't expect it, but yeah, we did. Yeah, Geki, as we have seen, also has the strictly Japanese reading Utsu. But yeah, in general means attack, beat, defeat. But yeah, so literally one hit, one blow, one stroke. Can also have an extended meaning, but let's ignore it for now. Ichigeki, an accent, yeah, it's a Chinese compound as mentioned, so makes sense. Then we have again the topic particle. And then we have Anadorenai. From Anadoru should be yeah, Anadoru is a verb, most likely a compound, but I'm not sure if we find it. We'll find it. I'll quickly look it up. Let me see. Potentially from an Anazuru, actually. But yeah, that wouldn't change particularly. But yeah, I suspect a compound, but I can verify it. Again, I could take technically a physical dictionary of etymology that I have, like we did for Toride, but yeah, let's not waste more time in this case. Anyway, this verb means to disdain, to look down on, to make light of, which is the best translation in our case, as we see. Accented, Anadoru. So, verb, codon verb, we can change the U into E and then add ru. You can see the ru because of further conjugation to make the potential form. In this case, unambiguously. For verbs, codon verbs, this is how you do only the potential form. Yeah, so can do the action of the verb. Then we drop the potential form is a verb, it's a verb, so we can drop the ru to make the irrealis, not yet state form. Nowadays we could simply call it negative form because yeah, mostly it's used for to make the negative by adding nai or similar other negative auxiliaries. But yeah, in this case nai is an adjective which means non-existent on its own. I used to make the negative form of verbs in plain speech. So yeah, cannot, in our case, can't. And yeah, so can't make light of. The translation is here is as for ratata, it's small, but as for its attack of as for the attack of literally one blow, strike, and so on of its front tooth teeth, you can't make light of it. So yeah. And then she actually says, Mo tsukameta kashira? And yeah, first we get Mo again. Already, in this case. Tsukameta, tsukamaeru, as already mentioned, to catch. Here we drop the ru. It's a verb, it's a verb, so yeah, we drop the ru to make the continuative form. In this case, simply to add the ta to make the ta form of the verb, and so the past form of the verb in plain speech. Last but not least, we have kashira, which is a particle technically used at the end of a sentence with the meaning I wonder, or do you think, can also be how about in other contexts. But yeah, female term or language. So yeah, makes sense that this girl is using it. Can also indicate simply an imprecision. Some kind, some stage, somehow, somewhere. Yeah, usually in the sense, the fundamental usage is that one we have seen. Yeah, in this case, I wonder, and also as a female term or language, so she's a girl. If you have already caught it, yeah, we actually did at the start of this very episode, funny enough. So yeah, let's talk to this lady here. Yeah, she says, Tokiwa no mori e iku no. First and foremost, we have, yeah, Tokiwa, Viridian, as you have seen. As a reminder, Tokiwa actually comes from technically a noun, usually used mostly actually as a noun that takes the possessive particle no to make in practice an adjective. Everlasting, eternal, unchanged. As a poetical term, also evergreen. And I suspect, especially in this second sense, technically in this Pokemon game, considering the colors. The accent, we have seen it last time, I think, but it's not present there. I'll quickly look it up again, since I already have the dictionary here. As a reminder, I think it might have been simply unaccented. But let's see if we can find it. Tokiwa. Yeah, unaccented simply. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, here simply as in the name of the city. And also, as it says here, possessive particle no. Mori. Forest. So yeah, technically you could say the name of the city. Or you could say technically here evergreen or everlasting, eternal, unchanged forest. Yeah, Mori Forest. It's also present in the Japanese name of Dobutsu no Mori, Animal Forest, Animal Crossing, unaccented Mori. Then we have the particle e, written as he, towards. Yeah, because after it we have the verb iku, to go, unaccented. Last but not least, we have no as the final sentence particle. Here, replacing ka, which would be the fundamental particle for to make a question, the fundamental interrogative particle. Oh yeah, no can also be used with a rising tone, of course, and here marked with the question mark. Especially when used not well as a question. Honestly, I think it can be used also by anyone. When used not in questions, then it's more usually more affirmative language. But yeah. So yeah, here she's asking, are you going? We could say in English, but yeah, in Japanese would be more will you go? So yeah, present technically form of the verb, also used as a simple future. But yeah, here clearly based on the context, technically are you going better in English to the Viridian Forest. So yeah, she's actually mentioning which area is ahead of here. And then she says, Mori wa tennen no meiro yo. I think that then the sentence ends there because of the yo final sentence particle. You know, as we have seen, the usage of yo. Yeah, I translate it personally more as a you know, usually can be a hey, as if for its meaning usually it's certainty, emphasis. Can also have other meanings like contempt, request, warning, and so on. But yeah, the most common ones are certainty or emphasis. And because of that, I actually usually translate it as you know personally, even though that translation is used here in the dictionary for as one of the translations of ne. But yeah, before it we have again mori, topic particle wa, so yeah, as for the forest. Then we have tennen, which means nature. It's a Chinese compound, I think an accent, but we'll check. It's an accented. Nature. Also in the sense of spontaneity. But yeah, you more often than not simply nature, and so actually then with the possessive particle no, like we can see here, to make in practice an adjective, so yeah, natural, of course, also in that other sense I mentioned here. But yeah, after that we have meiro. I think we have seen it before in Super Mario World potentially, considering a certain location there. It's a Chinese compound. I think this one accent on the first mora, it is. So the second most common accent for Chinese compounds. Meiro or meiro, depending on how the person pronounces ei. Maze, labyrinth. Yeah, so she's saying, as for the forest, it's a natural maze, labyrinth, you know. And then she says, Mayo wa nai yo ki o tsukete. First and foremost, we have Mayo wa nai from Mayo. This one we have definitely seen before in Super Mario World, and I might have mentioned it also. If not, no, we have actually straight up seen it also in The Legend of Zelda, because Mayo should be an accent, but we'll check. Is a verb, no accent, sorry, that I keep on forgetting. Mayo means to lose one's way, to get lost. So yeah, actually found then in should be Mayoi no Mori in both games. So yeah, Lost Woods in Zelda, because yeah, to lose one way to get lost. But the other meaning of Mayou is to waver, to hesitate, to vacillate, to be puzzled, to be perplexed, so on. So yeah, in Super Mario World, actually, then it becomes Forest of Illusion in English. So yeah, because of those two meanings of Mayou. But yeah, in our case, clearly, as in get lost. Here, it's a verb colon verb, so we can change the U into A. Becomes wa because actually verbs in U, as in straight up, ending with the kana U, were actually in pu in classical Japanese. But then that P being in the middle of the word became simply W, so wa, we, U, for the U simply fell, we, wo, but only wa remained nowadays, so yeah, that's why U verbs literally in U changed into wa when changing them, the U into a. And so again, the negative form of the verb, and yeah, to attach then again nai to make the negative form in plain speech. Then after it we have yo, a noun which we have seen has various meanings technically: form, style, design, fundamentally, way, method. Form, style, design technically with nouns. Then also another usage with nouns is like, similar to. With verbs, way to, method of doing, the action of the verb, or appearing, looking. In this case though, it's actually not yo on its own. And by the way, yo, u, so yeah, the u becomes simply the long vowel for the o. That's the rule, because of the evolution of the Japanese language. Yeah, accented. In this case, it's actually a contraction of implied there's an e. And we've seen that when using that yoni, make it so that, in this case, you don't get lost. Yeah, but in particular here then we have ki o skete. It's an expression. Ki is the this one is an accented. We have seen the accented one, which is accented. It means tree. Yeah, no, this is unaccented, and it means spirit, mind, heart, better spirit, mind, let's say, as the fundamental meanings. Several extended meanings. In our case, care, object particle o, and then skeru. Notice the U barely heard if at all because it's between our voice consonants. To attach, to join, to connect, to add, to append, to affix, all these meanings, to stick. Fundamentally, I would say to attach would be the fundamental meaning. So technically to attach, to add, care. So this expression, kiotsukeru, means to be careful, to pay attention, to take care. But yeah, skeru, and so also here in this expression, ru verb is some verb, so we can drop the ru to make the conjugative form. In this case, simply to attach the te to make the te form. In this case, when we have such te forms at the end of a sentence, usually there's an implied kudasai. Kudasai is one of the verbs of from kudasaru, one of the verbs of giving. This is honorific, as in respectful language, from top to bottom. Would use if written with kanji. Usually nowadays it isn't. With the kanji from for bottom, which we have studied. Top to bottom, so from a superior to an inferior. After the form of a verb, like other verbs of giving, it gets the meaning to do the favor of doing the action of the verb. But then it doesn't stop there. As I mentioned, kudasai, so actually kudasaru, verb than verb, but like other honorific, some honorific verbs, it is peculiar in the sense that to make the continuative form, we drop the ru and add i, or better, we did the usual, change the u into i, kudasari, but then the r fell, so only they remained kudasai. Continuative form required because then, usually implied, there would be a masse from mass. Mass is the auxiliary used to make the polite form of verbs. Masse, by changing the u into e, we make its imperative form. So yeah, it's the polite imperative. Literally would be do the favor of, please do the favor of doing the action of the verb in te. So simply then in translation we could say please do the action of the verb. So yeah, here she's saying please be careful so that you, implied, don't get lost. Oh yeah, so actually we got to see that. Yeah, I'd say we can end it here. We got a tease of what's beyond this door. We actually save it here. So yeah, we'll save the game. Perfect. Oh yeah, can close the game. And yes, so today we slightly continued the game. Yeah, we had even less time because of the previous of the direct we watched before it. Yeah, it was still nice. We got to catch Ratata, and so checked out also its Pokédex page. At least went through the gate, talked to the people inside, and funny enough, one mentioned the Ratata that we had just caught, so yeah, perfect. The other one mentioned what our destination by going through that door is, so yeah, Viridian Forest. So yeah, next time, which for this series will be on Monday as usual, unless plans change, we'll actually start Viridian Forest. Of course, on Sunday we'll also have, again, unless plans change, a stream mostly just for fun. I'm thinking first and most likely more Tomodachi Life to continue that, play it at the very least once per month. But we'll see. Of course, there's also on Wednesday our other current Let's Learn Japanese with series Super Mario Advance, so Super Mario Bros. 2, as in the USA 1, in its Game Boy Advance version, as you can see also here on the side. Yeah, so yeah, all that. Yeah, see you next time.